Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe that podium might be the podium out in the shade.
So we talk about maybe 2028.
There we go. That'll work. That'll work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now that it's like 7 o'clock, we can actually start, right? 2 minutes till. Senator Lovick said he was going to be with us tonight, so hopefully he shows up pretty soon. We have WSDOT here. I think that's why you're all here, right? Steve, we have is a project manager. We have Eric, who's a communications manager, and then we have Kurt, who's the engineering manager. These are the gentlemen working on this project. As I understand it, they're not just coming down, so they are intimately aware of what's going on in this community. Before we dive in with them, does anybody have anything else they want to bring up? New community news.
One thing.
What's up, Lori?
I have something. So maybe you all saw in the newspaper about Centennial Trail South. Well, there's an information sheet on the back table. I only brought, oh, good, okay, yeah. I only brought 15 copies of it, but if you want one, take it. When they're gone, they're gone. So, okay.
Very cool. We videotaped the entire town hall, and we have it out there. So what we're going to do, thanks to Leslie for bringing it to our attention, it's not on the website. We're going to put it on the website, and we'll start hosting these videos on the website so that we don't have to give Lori carpal tunnel anymore.
Okay.
So we will get that website link out to everybody in an email blast, and if not on the email list, come up, ask us. It's pretty easy, email or website address. We'll host the videos there, and you'll be able to access them so that you can follow up on the town hall if you didn't see it, or let people who can't attend these meetings know what's going on. Anything else anybody wants to bring up?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm wondering what other people are thinking about the new stop sign that they put in.
Snohomish and
Yeah.
180th?
And the backup it's causing.
I gotta say, I live about 4 houses down from that, and it has decreased the danger of me being mowed down when I pull out of my driveway. So I personally really appreciate it myself, but I don't know. I don't know how
I
others
actually
feel
haven't gone
about
through
it.
it yet.
You haven't gone through it?
No,
Oh.
haven't gone through it
I
yet.
hope another one goes in at 51st and 180th.
Right, right.
Because that's, I don't know how many accidents have happened, but I think both intersections have a lot of accidents.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've heard it's been backing up.
Yeah.
So people aren't really too thrilled about that.
So my understanding from conversations with Doug is that that is a preliminary to a roundabout. So,
Oh,
It is.
yeah, which will increase the flow of traffic and reduce that backup.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug mentioned that. Said that they start out with that. And then
Okay.
any other comments, questions, concerns?
It's back there.
Okay, cool. Well, without further ado, I will give you the floor.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Steve Wu, and thank you for the opportunity to present this wonderful project here. So let me go to the slide. So basically, we already do some introduction, and Kurt is here, and our managers are here.
Can you adjust the brightness to that?
No.
Maybe we can kill the light.
Oh, kill the lights.
You should shut off the light, maybe.
That may help.
There we go.
Is it a little better?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Turn that one off. Turn that one off. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Good. So let's go to another slide right here. Okay, so the project overview. Okay, so basically this project will be a release the traffic congestion in this area, and we're gonna widen on both sides of SR-9, and then we're gonna reconfigure the southbound and then create a 2 lane on each direction. And also we are going to replace the signal with the roundabout at the 176 and the 164, Carcat Road, and SR-96.
Okay.
It's right here. So 4 roundabout.
Yeah. Larimer, so Larimer, Cathcart.
Yep. 4 roundabout. Yep.
Okay, four, oh, wow.
Cathcart's going to become a roundabout?
Yes.
Wow.
So 176, 164, Carcat Way, and SR-96.
164th. We're going to get a
That'll
roundabout.
be nice. There's, it wasn't
That's a crappy intersection.
Yeah,
So if we can do the presentation, we'll go to all the questions you want afterwards.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, this is the configuration about 176. So you can see, okay, we get 2 lanes on each direction, and this is a T intersection.
This is the one right next to Safeway?
Yes, safer,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, wow.
So any question, comment?
Were there 3 or 2? I got 2 written down. Is there a third one?
Roundabouts?
Yeah.
There'll be
We got
4.
4 roundabout.
Oh,
So this is the first one. Need a safe way.
okay.
Okay, and I go to the next one. So next one is on the 164th Street.
Right, okay.
Thank goodness.
So you can see that we can have some sidewalk, we have a crosswalk, you know.
There is sidewalk?
A little bit sidewalk, you know,
Where
on the
is-
intersection.
Just the little.
Yeah, just a little.
Oh, okay, right at the intersection,
Yep.
I see. Okay.
Are you reworking the drainage there too?
Yes, so we're gonna improve the drainage too.
Okay.
So right now, the existing without any water quality or flow control, so we're gonna improve it too.
Okay.
Okay, okay,
So we're gonna put some detention pond in some area.
right. Oh,
Okay, question, comment for this roundabout?
When?
No? Okay,
Oh,
good,
we'll
thank
get
you.
there. Don't worry. That's what we all want to know.
Okay, so the next one's oh, I'm sorry.
jumped ahead.
So the next one's Carcat Way, roundabout. So we know that this area, they're gonna, I think one of the developer, they're gonna build like 1,500 houses in this area. So this intersection will be really busy in the future.
Yes,
Yep. So I think a roundabout able to solve all the problems in the future.
okay. Oh, good, all of them?
All the,
All the problems. will
all,
be solved.
Thank
majority
goodness.
problems.
Okay. So these are, there's special lanes for going right.
Yep.
Off of
Going
Cathcart
away, you know,
South.
what called a slip lane, you know, you make a right turn.
Yeah.
And the hatch area is an island, so that's why, you know.
Oh, okay, like a low.
Yeah,
low
so you got a lot of splits there, and then
Yeah,
Yep. And all the direction keep it protected.
yeah, okay.
So which one is the road that goes down that way?
Senator Lovett.
Oh, this one. Oh, you're talking about northbound, right?
Yeah, to go around. Thanks for coming. Keep
Thanks for
going
being
down
here.
Bob's Corn. Which road was
This
that?
one. Northbound, right here, see north arrows right there. South over here, north.
No, it's 164th.
Yeah, 164, go to,
Is this way
I was just
toward
trying to
us?
keep it pointed
164 to right here.
164 is this way, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's north.
Yeah, this is north right here.
yeah. Maybe look,
There's a bunch of buildings.
maybe we could go, maybe we could go.
Eastbound to north, from Cathcart to northbound I-9, is that one lane?
Yes, it's one lane, you're rolling about here, then go to northbound.
And 2 lanes. 2 lanes coming off of Cathcart.
And then
So
there's a free
heading
ride
west is going to be
from
one lane
Cathcart
that's
to
split to 2.
Southbound Highway 9 without going through the roundabout, is that right?
Say again?
There's a free right coming from eastbound Cathcart to southbound Highway 9.
Yeah,
Yes.
And that you don't have to then turn, it's not a right turn only into the new townhomes. You'll just be able to turn right and then be on Highway 9.
Yes.
Does it go down to 2
It shows
lanes?
3
at that
lanes.
Yeah.
point?
yeah, Steve, there's a new housing development going on
Yes,
right on
right
that
here.
corner. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
So-
House development.
I was wondering why you guys put the run up on that side, and it's because you planned it for this, right? So that's going to be you'll have time to merge onto Highway 9.
How far through then is that lane, that third lane, until it merges down to 2 lanes?
It's existing right now, so it goes up to right where it starts to bend,
Okay.
like right where the office. So how does one lane heading west splitting to 2 lanes? How does that work?
So you talk about from a southbound?
From 9 to west on Cathcart.
So basically from a southbound, right, if you go to southbound, right, you can make a right turn to the west.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
Simply.
like whether you're going southbound or northbound, there's just one lane coming off the roundabout that then splits to 2 lanes.
Yep.
Going west.
That sounds like a bottleneck to me.
It does definitely.
There's a bus that goes through there too.
Well, our traffic model, looking good,
Sure.
That's why we decided
I
this way.
would say that, yeah.
And are those crosswalks?
Yes, there's a crosswalk.
Are
Somewhere
there
right
any kind
here.
of lights or anything for those, or just a free-for-all?
Well, there's a crosswalk. We have a lot of, the signing, and the people we will pay attention.
Crosswalk gonna be an overpass to walk over?
Yes, sir. You see the map right here. You see the map?
No
Yeah.
overpass.
No overpass.
No, they're crosswalks.
There's a crosswalk right here.
The crosswalks are accurate, there'll be lights, pedestrian activated lights, when people walk across.
My guess is they're not going to get used that much.
Because there's nothing on the other
Yeah.
side.
Not right now, anyway.
Yeah.
That is one heck of a.
Lanes on there?
Bike lane at this point, we accounted the bike lane with the on the shoulder at this point.
The bike lane would be what?
On the shoulder.
So
So we already
official
count
bike
for
lane.
it.
So do you build all four at once or one at a time?
We build 4 at once.
Holy smokes. All right, cool. Let's see the 4th.
Do you have a timeline?
Sequential.
Well, right now we don't have construction funding yet. So if everything goes smoothly, we're gonna go to construction in the.
Let's
28.
get through these slides and then we're going to talk. Let's talk about budget, when, all that
Exactly.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just look at them.
Broadway on that, because I
This
see.
way, Broadway's right here. Go this
That's
way.
Cathcart.
No,
Sorry,
no.
you're too far away. from it.
Leslie.
So Broadway is.
Broadway's
That's Cathcart.
It's down.
Cathcart, see right here. Broadway's on this one. So I can show you next slide.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, the new townhomes are in that corner right there.
Broadway would be directly.
See, this is a Broadway
Oh,
right
that's
here.
a better.
There we go.
Yeah,
What's the next one up? That's the 4th one.
yeah, that's a 4
Yep.
one. This is the last one.
Oh, that's the last.
The most north.
This is
one.
Lowell Lemire.
That's where Broadway
Yep.
changes to Lowell Larimore
Yeah.
as it crosses highway.
Wow.
Is there one?
All right, do you throw that bend in there to slow everybody down from the
Yes,
70
I
mile
feel
an hour
it's
drag?
easier. Yeah, because of right now, it's like green light, people drive like 80 miles per hour, right?
So
now we slow down.
That's what's so important in the roundabouts too, is to slow them down.
Yes,
People
the slow down
they
actually
work.
reduce the speed.
Yeah.
Because of the roundabout usually we design like 25 miles per hour.
Oh, right.
So the people can go faster because the curve restricts the speed.
Yeah.
And we do lots of those awful wrecks.
Okay.
Can we go through those again?
Yeah, go through them again. Start up at 176.
Okay, stop. Okay, sure.
Now that everybody's looking at them. Okay.
Okay, this is 176.
176.
So is everybody oriented
Safeway.
on this? Yeah, where things
So
are?
the Safeway's on the upper right corner of this.
Exactly,
Right.
Safeway is right there.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's the entrance to Safeway right there over
Yes,
to the
that's right,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
176.
So people won't be crossing over the highway anymore to get to
You
that.
can't go left into Safeway anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut off.
They can't come left out of Safeway anymore either.
All right.
Yeah, that way you cannot go only right in, right out.
Is there less than Safeway?
Safeway know about that? My husband's gonna be disappointed. He always goes that way.
Okay.
Well, okay, hold on just a minute, 'cause I wanna look at this.
Sure.
Okay, so there's no free road. here.
Coming off 176 on the 9.
Yeah. Cool.
So basically, all the property along this corridor only right in and right out. They cannot make the left turn because we're gonna have the island in the middle.
Good.
So
That's
we,
so dangerous.
Yeah,
So dangerous.
yeah.
exactly. So only thing that you can make the left is go to the next roundabout.
And go around, yeah.
Yeah, go around.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do next one.
Yeah, the next one.
It's my home one.
So this is 164.
Yeah, that's designed realty right up in the corner on the left. Up there.
Also true value.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
That's west, slower right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. So are these,
And there's crosswalk.
the,
Yes, there's a crosswalk. Yeah, they see the crosswalk right there. This hatch area.
yeah.
crosswalk.
So just because he's not here, let me ask the question for Gene Whiteside.
Oh, he is here.
Oh, where's Gene?
Gene just walked in.
Oh,
What's that?
How long?
Oh, how long does a crosswalk you talking about? Maybe like 50 feet, 60 feet, something like that.
But there's an island in the middle of it.
Yeah,
you
there's an
cross
island in the mid.
Part of it and then.
Yes,
cross
you
it.
can take a break, inside the island, so
Like Frogger?
what?
It's like Frogger.
No.
It's that game the kids play nowadays.
Oh, I don't know what it is, yeah.
Yeah, all the corner we had a sidewalk, so.
Yeah.
Is there a crosswalk there right now?
Yeah.
No light, so.
Yeah, there.
No,
Is there light?
Well, we have the light at 164.
We have one
164?
right now?
Yeah, we had a
Yes.
signal,
Yeah.
one
Signal.
signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had
There's signals
the
that are all
crosswalk.
for it.
Yeah.
Crosswalk. I don't think we had the signal for the
Okay.
crosswalk.
Okay, and they're not going to at the Safeway or this one for these?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so this goes in where the current signal is at,
All of them.
164.
Yeah,
thank you.
164. We're
I'm
gonna.
I'm just trying to get oriented.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's Chevron, Beth Western, True Value.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Best Western, bottom right. True
Sure
Value,
one's
top
right
left.
here.
If we have it now, what a plan shows.
What looks to be a new pot shop going in. Who paints the building that green color?
That's really bizarre.
I know.
There's only supposed to be one in Clearview. That was one of the things.
So let's go back to this one. So any question for
And then Cathcart.
Cat Carway? This was more complicated because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Heavy
residential in
traffic.
this area.
And a big traffic stream coming down that hill and around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what a right way to put it.
Do you guys have the number of how many accidents there were a day at that, or there is right now?
I think the accidents are not really high at this point. I think there's like 2 in million, something like that. Otherwise we fixed the traffic like long time ago.
Yeah.
And actually, roundabout we reduce a lot of accidents.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Because
I see accidents every day, yes.
Yep, and I truly believe right now the people at night, right, they drive really fast. Even I think the SR-9 only 45 miles per hour. I
Right.
believe the people drive 60 miles per hour.
Oh, easy.
Easily, right?
Easy.
So when we put a roundabout, we can reduce the speed.
Yeah.
Will this also reduce the trucks? Wasn't that the huge issue with Broadway, is there was no way to turn around?
Well, it should increase traffic flow, right? I mean, that's the whole problem why they're going down off the off streets is
True,
it's,
but then
it's
also the trucks will be able to
Turn
do a
around?
roundabout.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have been account for all the truck turnaround too.
Okay.
Yep.
all right.
That could be on purpose.
That's gonna be way big.
Okay.
So the next one, the last one's SR-96 Broadway.
What's
The
that?
proposed parking lot was in the top left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there, right, something right here. Yeah.
So it's gonna increase the traffic flow, but what happens when they get to March Road? They'll be backed up even farther.
Marsh? Oh, God.
Well, because of Marsh Road, we're gonna build Marsh Road first, okay? So we only need to count for all the traffic, I don't think we're gonna huge better,
Well, it's 96.
Engineer
That's,
manager, he can explain better.
For SR-9 Marsh Road, we actually have a project going to advertisement this winter, where we're widening from 4 lanes from SR-96 all the way across the Snohomish River, adding a second bridge over the Snohomish River. So we'll be 4 lanes from this intersection all the way into Snohomish.
Okay.
But don't they have to acquire some property
For
to
which,
do all this?
Yeah.
This here?
we've been acquiring property out here for several years now, yes.
Are you all done?
No, not yet.
So how many more do you have to do?
I don't know.
We still have a lot, because of, we still have a lot to do.
We had dozens of properties to work with.
Speaking of it, are you funded at this point, or you're still?
We're funded for design and right-of-way, not construction.
Right.
So, we're waiting for the
And you have
legislature.
a shortfall as of the news tonight anyway, so it might.
Oh,
be
we're
that-
we're a billion short
That's
statewide
all,
for
it's
everything,
a
yeah.
little bit.
So whether the legislature funds it this
And the
session coming
culverts
up,
have
we
to be
don't know. What's that?
The culverts have to be fixed.
well, hang on. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So right here, that's a major milestone, and right now, like my manager say, we don't have a construction funding yet. So hoping if we get a construction funding, we're gonna break the ground, by 2028, hoping, right? 28.
If we get the funding,
If
yeah.
we got funding.
If you got funding, when? Like
If we
today?
get funding in this session coming up in, January.
Okay. Cool.
Question, comment?
What's
Let's
the
move.
CAN plan?
Channelization plan.
Channelization plan.
Channelization?
Shows where all the
Yep.
pavement markings are, all the paint, all the buttons, all the signs.
Yep.
That's
Just
plans.
didn't know what it was.
Yep.
Let's cook through, otherwise we're gonna keep
Yeah,
getting that.
go ahead, Steve.
When, where.
Any more?
Got it? You guys have more question? So my boss is here, ask
Yeah,
him.
no, we'll finish this and we'll answer what we can.
Yep.
Yeah, what,
Okay, if you don't have any question, so my presentation is adjourned. So thank you for the opportunity.
Ah, wonderful, that was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So-
Now we can ask when the money's gonna be here.
Yeah.
okay.
What's up, Gene?
Can I turn on the light? Somebody?
Wondering about the center, that center area for the roundabout,
The island? Or
The island.
Yeah.
how long will those be?
How wide around the roundabout?
You know, ones that are shooting north and south.
They're kind of elongated.
Like, they typically go 300 feet, 300 to 400 feet. This, we call them the splitter islands that divide the lanes up to the roundabout.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, like the shaded areas on either side. Those are splitter islands. They typically run, 300 to 400 feet, depending on where they start. They start off as just a simple curb, and then they widen out to direct traffic and slow traffic down.
Okay.
So what's gonna be the proposed width, 300 feet south of the roundabout on 176?
I don't have that number memorized. We'd have to look at the plans, get back to you on
As
that.
far as the roadway itself.
You talk about this one, 176?
How wide's the roadway at 176?
How wide? I think it's 12 feet, 24 feet.
No, how wide is our right of way?
How wide or wide? I think it's more than 60 feet. Some areas are more than 100 feet.
So it depends where we
Depending
are.
on which location you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking out some of the businesses along there?
No,
No? Okay.
we are not going to take out any pieces at all.
But we are acquiring strips of land on either side from properties.
So just so you guys know, the gentleman asking the question back there owns a local towing
Yeah, and
company?
that's, I heard you might be here.
Yeah.
No, but the roundabouts, the islands themselves will be low, so you can get around them a lot easier, making U-turns there a lot easier than you can now at any of the intersections.
Oh, good.
So we do have you in mind when we're putting these in.
Good.
Yep.
So there won't be a center in the middle of the median, it'll just be like some of the painted ones or the cobblestone like you see on a lot of them?
Yeah, probably, yeah, typically they're some kind of textured concrete in the middle, yes.
Quiet, okay. All right.
Sure.
I understand putting in the other lane. I think we all agree that that's necessary. I don't think any of us understand why the purpose of the roundabouts in lieu of existing lights.
Well,
That's that's a statewide policy. The roundabouts are inherently safer than signalized intersections. You have fewer conflict points, you have fewer areas where cars can hit each other. You can do side swipes, yes. You can do rear ends, yes. But you're not doing any T-bones at high speeds.
People I hear from in Lake Stevens tell me otherwise.
So Lake Stevens is a separate issue where we're working on that.
Yep.
That's where we put in,
Multiple roundabouts.
well, no, it's not the multiple roundabouts, but here we put, in Lake Stevens, we put in 4 lanes each direction, north and south and east and west. What we have is people taking the inside lane, instead of going on around the roundabout, they're trying to turn off onto whatever street, not realizing they have to stay in their lane and move over safely.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of people are just not paying attention when they make the movement in the roundabout.
No, I understand that, and that's why when I hear they're safer,
Yeah.
it always makes me chuckle a little bit because they're safer at lower speeds apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
they're designed for, 15 to 20 miles an hour, yeah, it's inherently a lower speed.
You know, and so the wrecks are smaller.
Yeah,
lower.
it costs less, it's fewer injuries.
Well, did I
Steep
understand too
learning
that,
curve.
yeah, did I
well-
understand that there was actually some, that Lake Stevens actually had some training sessions that WSDOT went up there and helped them?
I don't know about training sessions, in the past, we put together, the department has taken over some fairgrounds and laid out cones.
Yeah.
And laid out roundabouts for people to drive to see what they were like. That was early on in the, 10 or 15 years ago when we first started roundabouts.
Okay,
We would do that.
okay,
And we probably could here if you all wanted it.
right.
I feel like that would
The parking lot at Safeway.
embarrass us a little bit more.
Yeah, may irritate Safeway.
Yeah.
I think this community can figure out roundabouts.
Yeah, that's, once you do a roundabout, it's pretty easy to do.
Well, especially like you said, it's not as many lanes as
Yep.
the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is a state designated system of roundabouts?
State highway, yes.
Okay, because this is the first that anybody has heard of this as far as I can tell. I thought we were just gonna widen this thing to 4 lanes and live happily for another year.
Because we're widening it, we would have to widen the intersections anyway and redo the signalized intersections. So whenever we look at whenever we look at redesigning the signalized intersection, we have to consider roundabouts first.
Okay.
WSDOT actually was here about a year ago and talked about the 4 roundabout. There was no design at the time, but
Right,
we
now
did.
now we have a design.
Now we have
Yeah,
design, yep.
yeah.
Is there a flow of traffic improvement too, or is it equal?
I think the flow, yeah, we increase, what improvement about the traffic and safety too.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, 180th isn't gonna be a roundabout then?
No, not 180 at all.
Okay.
Are they still planning to do the roundabouts also at Maltby and Paradise Lake Road?
Yes. Again, that's where we have design and construction, or sorry, design and right-of-way funding, but no construction funding.
Okay, you're in the same
Yeah, so
boat.
Steve works for one of my offices. My other office is working on the SR-522 improvement project.
But what about back in the day when they were gonna go over 522?
We are going over 524.
No, 522, at Paradise Lake Road originally, that was the plan.
Yeah.
So 522 is going to go over 524 at Maltby
Oh.
Oh.
in our plan, and then we'll have roundabouts on either side where the ramps come down to 524.
Hot dog.
Oh.
So that'll be a
really?
4-lane freeway all the way out to Monroe
That'll be good
once
for
we
those
get
guys.
construction funding.
And they don't have funding for the bridge from Vales Road that way.
That's all part of the same project, correct? No,
Okay, we're talking, okay.
so we got the widening from Fales Echo Lake, actually from Maltby all the way out, you know, because we go from 4 lanes down to 2 just past the Maltby Cafe. Right?
Correct.
Okay, so we plan on widening that to 4 lanes and put in the new interchange at 524 at Maltby with the, 522 going up and over 524.
Is that Mulkey Road?
Yeah, Maltby Road, right in front of the cafe.
I don't know what number it's just.
Yeah, it's,
Is that 524?
It's that one, yeah.
524.
That you're thinking of that goes to Maltby Road, that intersection.
Concept on that website
Yeah.
for the Paradise Road deal.
My question is this, if something like that, is this still ahead of what's going on over there then, or how?
they're independent, so it depends on when we get funding.
Okay.
Depends on what
Do you
the
have a priority as far as,
We don't prioritize, it's totally up to the
you
legislature.
just go here, this is what we want?
Could the state fund
It's a
one
simple
of
way,
them and
yeah.
not the other?
Good, say again?
The state could fund one of them and delay the funding
Sure
of
they
the
can.
second
The
one?
legislature, yes, absolutely.
So what do we got to do to get our lobby going to get some money?
Talk to your representative.
Talk to your representative. Oh my gosh.
Talk to
Or a
your
senator?
representative, yep.
Oh, we might have one here today.
Go ahead.
Originally, it wasn't the plan
Good
for 522 and 524 to be 524 to go over
Yes,
522.
it was.
Maybe at one point, yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The old,
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
that
They would
Yeah,
take
so we-
524.
Big
We
house of
visited
dirt.
that design again. Actually, if we had gone up and over 522 there, we would have had to take a lot of property back on both sides. This way, we have the right of way to work with.
And at Echo Falls, or.
Fails Echo Lake,
Road.
yep.
And one other question, in regards to the roundabouts and the striping and everything, what are the guidelines for the colors of your curbs down the center?
So that's all part of,
Versus white and yellow and white, it's not congruent anywhere, when it gets right down to
it
it.
should be because everybody's required, all the state agencies, well, the state and the counties and cities are supposed to follow what's called the MUTCD, the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices. It's a federal manual. In order to get any kind of funding from the federal government, we have to agree to use those standards.
So in regards to a raised curb versus
Yep, so
being
depending on what
aligned.
side the curb is on, it's either white or yellow. If it's on your left side, it should be yellow. If it's on your right, it should be white.
And doesn't differentiate whether it be a raised one or a.
No,
Okay.
no.
Which is confusing to a lot of people. You know, I mean, if it was color coordinated, I'm colorblind, but that's not, the point is, it would be easier to see if it was, if it wasn't white, if it was raised and it was yellow, then people could really zone in on that when they're driving down the road, whether they're drunk or they're not drunk, or whether they're 100 years old or 16 years old. A color other than white, because white blends in. Yellow doesn't, day or night. The same way, so I'm just saying there's a lot of accidents because people hit those curbs. And if they had, you know, if it was uniformly one color for raised versus not raised, I think it would make it a little easier.
Possibly.
You guys taking notes?
We all need to.
Go ahead.
My concern is the traffic on Highway 9, as fast as it goes, roundabouts have a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. I have never been to a roundabout coming in from the side and had anybody going slow enough that I could pull out from the side. So you're gonna wait for that traffic on Highway 9 unless you just take a dive for it. Because the traffic on 9 does not slow down.
Yeah, how do you enforce, I mean, because I've seen roundabouts that really work, and people do slow down for them, and that's how it works.
Training people to follow the rules of the roundabout.
Yeah.
You know, the people driving on 9 are pretty courteous anyways. Like, you know, we work right there at True Value, right next to True Value, and so I'll pull it, with northbound traffic being terrible, I'll pull right out. People will slow down, let me in. No problem. Nobody's a jerk. Nobody's a jerk at all. That scissor merge at 180th, rarely do we find jerks on that merge.
Nice people around here.
I have issues with getting onto Highway 9 heading north, and this would be the 164th roundabout, with the guys coming up from Cathcart not using blinkers. And so you're waiting there to make a left-hand turn, and
That'll happen in roundabouts too. I mean, people, you know, they're not following the rules of the road.
there used to be a left turn signal there that was so much.
And we complained about it and wanted it gone.
I did.
It's gone now.
There never used to be a light.
Somebody else like that, don't you?
Right.
I have a comment about the funding.
Yep.
Our Washington State ferries are subsidized by 60 to 70% from our gas tax. Now, if they raise the fee on the ferries, then we wouldn't have to support the ferries so much for all of our people that buy the gasoline. And if they raise the ferry fees, there'd be fewer people using the ferries, and they wouldn't have to buy so many new ones. But anyway, I just don't think it's right that all of us have to support the Washington State ferries by 65 to 70%.
Eric was taking notes back there.
Valid concern. Yes, sir.
How about center lanes on Highway 9? There's places now where you can turn left, and then I noticed that down farther past 180th, some of those have turn lanes, and some it seems like you have to go up and turn and make a U-turn and then go back.
Right, it'll be like that when we widen here too.
Yeah, is there a general rule, or how do you determine?
I might have started that coming out today, looking at that. Depends on the number of houses on the side street. You know, I know we've got a couple of left turn areas where you have 5 or 6 houses off on one side. So you have enough traffic to dictate giving them a turn lane.
Oh, just 5 or 6 houses?
Yeah, well, it depends. Yeah, my guess is 5 or 6.
I was thinking about 152nd.
152nd.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
offhand.
That's got it's a lot. It's a
It's
big
a
one.
residential.
All the residential. I think we proposal had an island in the middle, so we're gonna take out the middle lane. I truly believe because
Take
for
out
the
the turn
safety.
lane?
Yeah, so you only right in, right out. That's it.
The
So when
problem
you-
with the turn lanes across multiple lanes is
So we'll have to go down to 164th.
You loop around.
Take them wrong. Yep.
Or down to 1
Yep.
or Cathcart. Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, if you're going south.
Yeah.
If you're coming on the Cathcart
Right.
to Highway 9, and you wanna turn on 152nd, you won't be able to do
The problem with the left turn against 2 or more lanes coming opposite directions, you get the T-bones. And it's
I mean, it terrifies me every time I see somebody stopped on 9.
You can have somebody hidden behind the truck and not see them until you get hit by them.
Exactly.
People on their phones.
Is there a divider going down 9 then?
It'll be divided, yes.
Yes.
Like we do now down by the treatment plants, where we have curbing in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again,
So,
So in regards to, and I'm thinking to myself here, in regards to making if you have to pull, my business is 400 feet, that kind of magic number you were just talking about, south of 176 on the west side of the highway. Am I going to be expected to make a right-hand turn into my business from the fast lane to make my turn? Or am I gonna get?
because you have to swing wide with your
Am I
truck.
gonna get a green pass or
Why would you be in the left-hand lane turning
because
right?
I'm gonna be, I'm pulling something that's 90 feet long.
We'd have to look at the
Trying to make a
driveway and
right-hand
see
turn
if,
radius.
we'd have to look and see if we make a wider driveway there, possibly a wider radius to accommodate that.
Well, that interferes with the buildings that are already in place.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah.
just, because that's what I was told before, if I wanna turn into my business,
You may
I
have to
have,
swing
I
wide
have
to
to
get
come from
in.
the fast lane to make a right-hand turn, which would be cutting off anybody in the slow lane
Right.
24 hours a day.
need a road at the back.
And then it would be my fault because I was breaking the law.
I don't have a good answer for you right now. It's something for us to consider.
Have there been some studies on the effectiveness of, was it, I think it's 202 outside of, between Woodinville and Redmond, when you put in those roundabouts? They seem to be working really well. I used to drive that road all the time. The traffic moves a lot better, you don't have the backup.
Yeah, but it's on
Like in
202,
wine
we've
country?
got accident data out there that would show the decrease in accidents. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems that way.
Yeah, we
There is
have
a
that
learning
data.
curve.
Yeah, once people learn how to use them,
It's
it
great.
goes very smooth.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yep.
I had another.
Just so I'm clear, so is the turn lane north of 180th to Lowell Larimer, is that gonna disappear? Or?
Turn lane north of Lowell Larimer.
Yeah, so like by 172nd, 168th, is that gonna vanish? The one that goes in front of True Value right now.
That's south of Lowell.
That,
Right. No,
That's south of Lowell Larimer, but it's north of 180. North of 180.
north at between 100, it's between 176th and 164th. Is there
Oh.
gonna be any?
that would likely go away.
No, you can make a left turn.
Sorry.
Just like the 152nd one.
So it'll have to go up and
Yeah.
turn
So
around.
we
Yeah,
will-
you have to turn the
we-
wall.
So you'll just
Yeah,
have to go
so,
around.
yeah, we'll go away.
Down the
You
road.
go away, yep.
Okay. That's the hardware store, you know, you guys.
More hands, more questions?
Yeah.
Back there, go ahead.
Yeah, two things. If we could get this organized slightly better, it would help if people would raise their hands to speak.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it gets kind of bogged down and.
That's true.
Sure.
Okay, so
Sorry
let's
about
move from that. And then why are we even discussing that
Go ahead.
there's absolutely no money for any of this? Because this is extremely expensive to do.
Because we gotta get the money.
John Lubbock here, maybe he can help us with some of the interaction.
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. Can I just stand?
Sure. Yeah.
Let me just say that this is very, very interesting. I'm John Lubbock, and I had a couple of roles. But one of the things that I absolutely enjoyed that I did is that I was a state patrol officer. So I patrolled Highway 9 for many, many, many years. And I was not a big fan of roundabouts, but pardon the pun, I've come around quite a bit. Only, sorry about the pun. My grandson tells me not to use any puns around here. But I've been around quite a bit of these roundabouts, and I'm here to tell you, I was not a big fan, and I go through one every day when I'm in Olympia. We go through these roundabouts, and it's gonna take a learning curve, but I have found, when we put the first one up in at Bigfoot Road there, and I remember investigating many, many, many collisions there. Serious fatalities, and I don't know what the numbers are now, but I drove through it yesterday, and it's just a smooth process. People don't like them at the start, but it's just one of those things. I always tell people hate change, and they hate the way things are. So, and what I mean by that is we don't like change, but we certainly don't like the way things are. And I listen to these guys, and as far as funding is concerned, we're gonna have to make some tough decisions. But we were not elected to do easy things in the legislature. I was over in Bremerton this past Monday. We were talking about the issues that we're dealing with there. I heard someone talk about the ferries. We have some issues with our ferry system. We're going to have to make some tough decisions, and we are talking about them every single day of the week. I'm the vice chair of the Senate Transportation Committee, serving with Senator Elias, and we talk every single day. We're going to make some tough decisions, but we're going to get the job done. I'm confident that we are going to get the job done. We're going to do everything we can to fund these projects. I don't know all the details that these gentlemen, they're quite talented, by the way. I don't know all the things that they're talking about what does what, but we're gonna get money to fund these. We fund our priorities, and this is the priority. Yes, sir.
Yes, is the state going to do something to train drivers how to use roundabouts?
You know, that's a good question, and I don't know the answer to it. I know that there are always opportunities to do public safety announcements, and I think we probably need to talk about that. I've never heard of that before. I had to learn to use them myself because I was driving yesterday. My grandson will tell you, we went up to Snohomish, Lake Stevens for a ribbon cutting for a library, and I was in the wrong lane. And he's telling me where to go, and I'm listening to him, and I was in the wrong lane and almost got clipped myself coming off of 204. It's a learning curve, and I put millions of miles on cars as a state trooper, so it's something we have to learn to do.
You know, I tell you what, we can put some roundabout videos on the website for you, so we can get a little bit of YouTube training there.
But I'll just say this, and then I'll stop. We are talking budget issues every single day. We're talking about this. We were talking yesterday about maybe looking at moving $1 billion from the operating budget. We have some ideas that we're looking at. We're looking at a lot of little things. People aren't going to be happy with all of them. They're going to be quite upset with some of the things that we're going to do. But we're going to have to fund the priorities. And I say we fund our priorities in the legislature. And this is a priority for a lot of us. I speak with, I'll just say this real quick. Representative Sam Lowe and I have talked about what he was talking about with Highway 522. We used to call it the Highway of Death many, many years ago. I can't tell you the number of fatalities I investigated out there. I still have nightmares driving through them. We've made lots of improvements on the road. I'll stop. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Next person. With the next question. Yes.
Well, if you're going to, you're talking about funding this, but there's definitely no set time.
No.
I mean, we've been waiting 15
Yeah, I know.
plus years.
So this next.
I'm 75 years old.
Yeah.
now.
You don't look 75, but you shouldn't tell anybody that. Not the 75 years old because I'm getting up there myself. But let me just say this. We know that this next budget year is we're going to have to make some decisions. And people don't elect elected officials to go there and sit on our hands. And we're going to make some decisions. And I'm confident that we're going to do it. Like I said, people aren't going to be happy with everything that we do. We're talking daily about moving dollars from one operating budget to the transportation budget.
So are you talking this upcoming?
This next session, it's the budget year.
Will get done.
No.
Something is going to get done. I'm confident.
So I think I heard the date 2028, or this year
Yeah.
2028 for out here. Is that really real, do you think?
You know, I
Tom?
don't know I think if we pass the budget, it takes, they have a lot of projects that they're working on. Am I right about? There are a lot of things. You know, I remember voting for the budget for the bridge there, and I was telling my grandson coming back from Snohomish this afternoon, I said, we funded this five years ago. I remember that. But there are a lot of projects going. There are a lot of different things happening in the state. It's a fast-growing state. A lot of money being spent, but we're getting work done. But it'll take a while. Yes, sir. Oh, it's good to see you back there.
John, first of all, thank you for your service, for all the time you spent out here. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I know that it was a thankless job for all those years. You mentioned something about the ferries and that you've
Yeah.
been involved in some of that. My question is, do you know what the numbers are for the dollars that are brought in for the liquor that is sold on those ferries daily?
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
I don't.
monthly?
I don't. I don't think it's. What's your first name?
Gene Whiteside.
Yeah, Gene. Gene, I've known you for many, many years, and you probably came and picked up many cars that I called for a tow truck on, and we did a lot of things together. Gene, I don't know what those numbers are. I don't think the dollars are what we think they are. I was on the ferry yesterday, and most people stay in their cars, but I'm not saying that is exactly the case, but there's not a lot of liquor being sold on the ferry.
The sales of liquor on the ferries, is it justified for what? Don't drink and drive.
I never
You're on the
thought
same
about that.
page with me on this one. I have actually absolutely talked about having alcohol removed from them, but I got nowhere. So anyway,
Then let's have pot, let them sell pot on there too.
yeah, I know. I will stop and let these gentlemen, but let me just say this. I really appreciate you inviting me to this, and I love coming to these. None of these decisions that these gentlemen have to make, the men and women in that division, but they do great work. All I tell people is this. I tell them that I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I hang around smart people. And smart people that really make, kind of have a tendency to make us look good. But our job is to fund these projects, and we're going to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions before we do?
Do you have an estimate of how much the 176 to Lowell River project will cost?
Almost $88 million at this point.
You have any idea what's the 405 to 522 costing? You know?
That'll be approximately $300 million for construction.
When did they do that last time? How long ago was that?
That was 2007, I believe, when we did the Fales Echo Lake.
Sorry, 405 to 522.
Oh, 405 to 522? Well, that went in years ago. The current one, that's our Brickyard Road project.
Right.
That's really expensive right now to add the lanes and the new structure.
Do you know when they did the last one?
405 went in probably late 60s, early 70s.
Well, they just redid that interchange. Within 20 years ago.
Right. Oh, yeah, we did. Right. We did that. That was in the 90s when we did that. That was later 90s.
I was driving. I remember it.
You mean where the going on to 522?
If you're going northbound on 405 and we take that
right around
to 522, right after Brickyard Road, right after 160th.
Yeah.
So right there, 160th.
I know what you're talking about. The weave there, 160th
Yeah.
on the hill.
Right.
That was around 2012.
Okay, so 12 years ago. How much did that one cost? You know?
I'd have to look that up. I don't know.
North of 500 million?
No.
And this one we're doing right now is like $1 billion. You said?
No.
No, how much?
88 million.
88. No,
This
the one in
project is-
405.
405.
Yeah, 405 Brickyard Road, I think is 400+ million or more.
On this project?
The new one that they're working on right now.
Do you know how much the old one was?
No.
Any guess?
No. I mean, I got a guess, but it'd be so far off the mark.
Okay.
It'd be worthless.
All right, interesting.
I have a question. If they get the funding now, like we have for projects, but we don't do the project for X amount of years
Yeah.
later,
What happens?
which happens, if the projections for people moving in, right, because that's what this is based off of too, right? That's part of it, is
Yeah.
how many people are gonna be living in this area as the new, is that correct?
No, we don't base it on future. We don't know what the future holds for these areas.
So it's
Ah.
based
This is
off of
based on current.
That's
yes.
why we're spending $400 million on 405 12 years later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ideally
why
we build
we do it
everything
that
out
way?
as wide as we need when we first get
Because
here.
they don't.
How is that
because
decision made?
It's not required
Okay.
to. Yeah.
Because how do we make the decision to widen 1 lane, 2 lanes, 4 lanes?
We look at the number, the amount of traffic out there, the HOV use,
The existing?
where traffic's going.
Population.
Yeah,
Population
do
increase.
traffic studies.
Okay. And are the traffic studies, are those following like the Vision 2050 and all the stuff that the Puget Sound Regional Council is
Yep, we
putting out?
deal with PLRC all the time. Yep.
So where is that lane gonna go? That's right above at the 405 north turn on to Woodinville. They're doing a lot of work there on the hillside.
Yeah, that whole area, there's a website for that. It's called the Brickyard Road Project, 405 Brickyard Road. That project is going to add another structure across 522, another bridge across 522. It'll have lanes that drop down to 522 for HOV.
Okay.
There'll be a new intersection down at the bottom underneath the interchange to get traffic into the HOV lanes up onto 405.
Oh.
And that also adds a second hot lane all the way up to I-5.
Oh. Wow.
Do you guys have do you know what communities typically take 9? Right, because I mean they're blowing through
Everyone
here.
in the area here. I mean, everybody.
Lake Stevens,
yeah,
Arlington,
Lake-
Marysville, all the way up.
You know, it's a bypass for 5 and vice versa.
So Broadway here now is considered arterial.
Right.
Is there
Snohomish County arterial, yeah.
Right, is there any plans in the future to make that wider?
Don't
to
know,
4
that's
lanes?
Snohomish County, we don't touch that.
That's a county
And do you
road.
think these roundabouts now will alleviate the trucks that are going on Broadway? I mean, this is a
It could.
residential
Sure.
street.
I mean, making a 4-lane highway out there, or 4-lane road.
Right, and
Well-
some of these trucks that go by my house shakes.
Yep.
So there's no weight limit, anything on Broadway for these big trucks?
I don't know, it's a Snohomish County road, we don't deal with those roads.
Yeah. That's a public works guy.
We had them out at the town hall. Doug gave us some
Doug,
information on it.
McCormick.
This is I think it's classified as a minor collector, and so it's a decent sized road, but it's meant for throughput, and so their county's not planning on widening it. They're also not planning on doing anything else with it.
I can give you his contact information
He's a
if
really-
you want
he's a
to
good guy.
email. Yeah, he's really very communicative. Yeah.
And a lot of those trucks are from DTG.
Right. And Maltby's rural and
I had a
Maltby's.
question with the Cathcart Way slide.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
Cathcart.
so currently, westbound on Cathcart Way is 2 lanes, but you only have a single lane exiting onto that. Why is that?
So Cathcart will have 2 lanes coming south, going onto Highway 9. One's a slip lane, and then the regular turn lane.
No, I know, but westbound onto Cathcart, it's a.
Oh, westbound single lane that goes into 2.
Yeah, but it's 2 lanes currently. So I'm curious why it went to 1, just to make.
The 1 lane will handle the traffic, making getting everybody up onto Cathcart Way. And if we go with the 2 lane, we run into that issue we're having
Lake
up
Stevens.
in Lake Stevens right now, where you have 2 lanes of the roundabout coming around and people sideswiping.
I asked that because my perception right now is that a lot of people heading south on 9 actually want to turn right on Cathcart Way, and they cut onto the shoulder currently just to do that.
But with a slip lane, right?
No, he's talking southbound,
Oh, southbound.
southbound to westbound.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people want to turn right there, but they.
It'll be easier,
have to
there
use the
won't be a
shoulder
signal,
or-
there will be a free right, as long as nobody's in the roundabout coming around, they'll be able to do that.
Huh.
I have a question. Is there any way that public can comment on any of this stuff, or is this what you guys say is it, and we have to deal with it?
We've got our website, you're free to comment on that and let us know.
Okay, but
Yeah.
there's no formal thing to, I mean, you just don't know.
No, not at this point, Eric.
No, I mean, it's a right-of-way project. No, there's no public hearing. That time is long past. The public hearing time for, like we were talking about Paradise Road, we are coming up to community engagement on that, but this one's farther along in the process. But at any time, like they were saying, you can write in, and those don't go into just a hole.
That's what I'm wondering, if it just
No,
goes
they
down.
go to people who listen, and like all the way up through their
Yeah,
engineering
definitely up to
bosses, our
Brian.
regional administrator who's in charge of our whole Northwest region, to Roger Millar, who's the Secretary of Transportation. Those go that way. Because the worst thing that could happen is you send something to us and we don't get it to the right people, then you go to the right people and it's like, what happened to their original, comment? So, you could always, at the bottom of every one of our projects, or the back, it says contacts, there's usually an engineer and there's usually me. And you can email us and we will get your concern to the right people and they will consider it and we'll answer you. WSDOT's really good about that, about answering constituents.
Will there be sidewalks?
The email.
No, not for most of it. At the roundabouts, yes, we had sidewalks at roundabouts, but for most of that area, no. Most of 9, no. We don't have enough pedestrian generating facilities out there where people want to walk to and from. So at this point, no sidewalks.
My understanding is that there is a community transit push, and we'll get council member Mead out here. I know he's pushing on it. He'd be happy to talk to everybody about that too, because there's a little bit of a push for bus service.
Any more questions?
No?
Great.
Super, thanks. Right on.
Thanks for
You
your-
guys didn't yell at him.
Thank you.
We're out of here within an hour. Thank you.
Steve.
Thank you, Senator.
Steve.
Great. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate
you guys did this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do it like about 6 times a year. Yeah,
Really?
It's good to see you, John.
That was great. I'm sorry.